Good morning. Yep, it's me. Hair wet from the shower. No lipstick, because I've got to get a root canal today. Oh, well, even so, it's still Tuesday morning, 6:39 a.m., August 16th, 2022, on the East Coast of the United States. And still going to have my coffee. But I thought I would talk just a little bit about some points about the Nespresso original line machines, at least a lot of them. This is a Pixie, okay? Now, if you notice here, we've got a little water vessel, and it is not filled with tap water. It is filled with filtered water, because that helps the machine to stay free of deposits of whatever might be in your water. Like I live in an area that has hard water, and this way it helps to keep the machine clean. Now, on my machine, this slides out, and see, it's full of capsules that have been ejected after I used them. So I'm going to dump those out. Now, if you notice, there's a hole in the bottom. Well, let me turn the camera around here so you can see. Okay. So that's the water that has dripped out of the capsules. See, this sits on top of here, and the water drips out of the capsules, you know, the water that's left over after extracting the coffee. So when I first got my machine, one day, so this is what I'm gonna do. Okay. And I'm going to give it a little rinse out. Every once in a while, I wash it better than that because, oh, let me go back in the light here. This comes apart and you can clean the whole thing. I don't do it every time. Like I said, every once in a while. So when I first got my machine, one day I noticed on the counter, there's all this coffee, and I thought, oh my gosh, did I spill my coffee and didn't realize it? No, what it was is this thing had become so full it was overflowing. So then I discovered, oh, it pulls out. And you can, you know, dump it out every once in a while. So these are all good things to know, right? Okay, now on to actually making some coffee. By the way, one other thing is, after I make, probably at least 4 cups of coffee, I will just run plain water through it. So how do I do that? I don't have a capsule in, I just close the machine and I push one of the buttons, either the espresso or the lungo button. And that just runs plain water through. And that helps to get any coffee residue on the inside. Oh, it's ready to come out. My machine makes that noise when the water's heated up. So this morning, and by the way, I don't have to do it very often, and I'll show you why. This morning, what shall I have? Let's see, I had aged Sumatra yesterday. I think this is, I feel like this is Miami. It usually says right on the foil. But I've gotten some, like for example, this says Voluto on the foil. This says nothing, but if I remember correctly, this is Miami Espresso. And if it's not, I'm having it anyway. Okay, again, I'm using one of those bone china bee's knees mugs with the nice big handle that you can get your big old hand in. Okay, so I'm extracting this capsule as an espresso, but I'll show you what I'm gonna do that actually helps to keep my machine a little cleaner. Okay, let's wait till this is done. By the way, I've got about 4 ounces of heated milk in this mug, because that's how I like my espresso. Extracted into milk, into warm milk. And then this is what I do. So I'm going to eject the capsule, okay? So when I do that, you see it in there? Okay, so now, no capsule, right? I'm gonna close it. I'm gonna push the espresso button again. And this is just running plain water, plain hot water through. So yes, in a way, I've sort of made a semi-cafe Americano. I mean, it has nowhere near as much water as you'd add to a cafe Americano. But it's like a double espresso with half the strength, if you want to look at it that way. And this has given my machine a little rinse out. Now, you know, you should still clean your machines. Obviously, you know, just scale them every once in a while and just run maybe, 2 or 3 plain, just hot water through them, you know, 2 or 3 times, depending on how often you use your machine. If you notice maybe a change in the taste or whatever. Okay. A very nice taste. You know, I just like this, made this way. And yesterday I commented, and isn't this something that after having been in Europe and had all kinds of coffees made on all kinds of wonderful machines, I ended up liking warm almond milk with my espresso from my Nespresso machine and some extra hot water. Although there were a couple of coffees in Europe that I did really, really like. One of them was made with the mocha pot, but not the little bitty mocha pot that's, you know, maybe this tall that you can put on your stove. It was a big mocha pot, like probably this tall. I don't know, but maybe sometimes when you're making a quantity of something, you know, a larger or smaller quantity can affect the flavor, or the time that it takes to make it affects the ingredients. I don't know, but that coffee was excellent. And then my daughter's father-in-law has been making coffee for years and years, and well, he's my age, with one of the kind that, well, you know, it's like the espresso machines that they have in a fancy restaurant or a fancy coffee shop that has all the decorations, except it's the scaled down version. It doesn't have the decorations. It's just, you know, plain old metal, and it's got the pressure gauge, and it is electric. You do plug it in. It sends the water through and builds up pressure, and you have a manual handle that you go to push the water through the coffee grounds. Interestingly, her in-laws camp a lot. And do you know what kind of machine they got to have coffee in their camper? A Nespresso machine. I don't remember what kind it was. I don't know if in Europe they have different names for them, but it's, you know, maybe this tall and only this wide and this deep. It's very compact. That's what they got, so how about that? Anyway, I don't receive any benefits from Nespresso. I don't work for them. I don't own stock in them, anything like that. You know, I just like to share things that I have found are helpful or enjoyable in my life with you. So I hope that you have a lovely day, and I'll talk to you soon.